Welcome to TMZ Live. There is a big movement afoot in this country. When you look at what happened in New York City last night with the election of a Democrat socialist, this is not a one-off with New York City and everybody else is just looking askance saying, oh God, it's just New York. There is a movement with young people, a movement as strong as anything I've seen since I was young and watched the Vietnam War movement, which changed the world.
And the big question now is, will the older people step out of the way and let the young people lead?
They may not have a choice.
But that's the battle within the Democratic Party that people were talking about leading up to the election. But once Zohran Mamdani was elected, now this is the battle at hand in the Democratic Party.
So, look, you know, Donald Trump got elected based on affordability. And prices are going up. I mean, that's just a fact. And young people especially have lost the American dream, and they know it. And they are willing to roll the dice on socialism, and they're embracing it. So, you know, we've seen, you know, the exit polls showing about, you know, all the young people. We are in California. We're in Los Angeles. We're the opposite end of the country. And we started asking around. We have a whole Gen Z department at TMZ. And we started...
we don't call them that, but
well, but I mean,
they happen to be, yes,
and we service the Gen Z audience,
right?
And we have a lot of people here now who are, you know, working in that area, and we just wanted to find out from them. They're not in New York, and it's a different city here.
Yet
how
they're
they
still,
feel.
yeah,
they're all in. They're
exactly.
all in. Meet them all right here.
Here's the gang.
So, why socialism, guys?
Well, I just feel like, you know, well, and specifically with Mamdani, you know, to be relatable is getting a listening ear, first of all. And so what he's done on social media and his progressive mindset captured the young people's attention.
Yeah.
I think he made socialism also digestible for young people. Like, you hear that word and you think, like, incredibly radical thoughts.
You think about communism and like
you think about communism,
which is, you heard
yeah.
the president say he's not a socialist, he's a
Yes.
communist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Right.
but like then you look at his policy and you see free bus fares, and you see universal child care, and you're like, these are things that young people want and young families want, and to put like the label of socialism on them, I think makes it a little more radical than.
And the fact that he's 34,
Mm-hmm.
like if you look at now, the government shut down. Everybody that's in those seats is what, 70 plus up.
110.
You want people that are of the age, boots on the ground. They have their ears to the streets. They're really active on social media. If you see, he recently went to the gay club. He went to another bus, another club. He was up like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know, just really campaigning and rallying in. And I think people, to Kate's point, love how relatable he is. He met his wife on Hinge, like, okay, T.
Must be nice.
Must be nice, right? And then also he was like dancing to Kendrick Lamar. Like, he just knows what the people of the generation, the millennials, the Gen Z, he just knows what we're looking for.
But that feels, I look, that feels gimmicky to me.
I agree.
That, you know, you show up at a
agree.
gay bar, you show up at clubbing, you dance to Kendrick Lamar. I mean, this is about
policy.
Yeah.
policy.
Yes.
I think
I don't think it's gimmicky.
Yeah,
it's because it seems so authentic. Like there are some politicians that are like will like post like rainbow flag pose next to it.
Yeah.
But that man was in the gay bars. His old tweets were like very.
Yeah, you
like,
pull up his old stuff.
Like, he was around the girls.
The point is, because of his
days.
age, it seems authentic.
The optics of it are a lot more
someone
consumed.
who's in their 50s, 60s, or 70s does that, and that's what you're used to seeing, Harvey. That's what you're referring to.
The optics of a younger politician doing it make it seem more realistic.
And I hate to say the optics are a gimmick or seem gimmicky because it's just like, I feel as if that grabbed our attention in a way that now we're listening because you are 34, and for 20-year-olds and even 30-year-olds, we're all listening to him, and then he backs it up with, I can relate to you as being an immigrant, being a man of color, being my age. Now I'm going to tackle the issues that we care about. Do you know how much a carton of milk is? Do you know how much eggs are? Okay, I'm going to tackle groceries. Do you know how much we have to, you know, rides to work are?
Who's paying for all
I
of
was going
this?
to say, when you guys...
That's the big...
So right now, it's like projected that in order to make buses free, in New York, it's going to be like 800 to 900 million a year. There's also a bunch of unpaid fines by landlords. Like, it's been a big problem in New York. that is amounted to around $800 million.
Right.
Yeah.
He does not say where that money is going to come from. He wants higher taxes for millionaires, like 2% for a certain whatever, and then he wants to also raise like corporate taxes to what New Jersey is right now, which I think is 11.5.
Yeah.
Somebody check that.
Close to 12%.
But he doesn't say where this money is coming from. And like personally, I don't care what you do in the club. I care what you do in the office.
Yeah. Sure.
And I think that like he doesn't explicitly say where this money is coming from.
Does that concern you? Because I think that's what a lot of his
I think that's what makes
detractors.
it great because look, your concerns are there, which are very valid and fair. We're talking about social media presence, so I think having a millennial candidate, exactly, like we're all are tapped into what's happening in the world because of these different things.
Well, he made it more.
You can almost say that about every politician too, you know.
But I mean, I think his age and his, like the way he carries himself on social media, the way he like follows like his audience and stuff, I think makes it a way more consumable for like an audience that is just getting into the voting field. You know, like we haven't been able to at least I wasn't able to vote on the first like Trump election or anything. You know, so this is like coming into this cycle is the first time that our generation really
we'll learn our lessons there.
Exactly. So has knowledge of being able how to consume it.
You're kind of in this area. Hollywood is dead. Hollywood's not coming back. Hollywood is now in Kentucky. It's
Atlanta.
in
New Mexico.
It's in Georgia. It's in Ireland. It's
Canada.
in Canada.
Vancouver.
Chicago.
And the reason is it's overregulated. That production companies are paying too much money and they can get it done cheaper elsewhere. So you go to New York now and you say, okay, we're raising taxes on all these corporations and all these people. Where do you think they're going? What are they going to do?
Right.
Why aren't they going to do the same thing that Hollywood does? And then good luck finding a job.
Right.
Yeah.
What about that?
Right.
I mean,
you
I
have
think,
a point there.
No, I think I think that's like the big, for the detractors of him, we're saying that because I think. In theory, socialism and all this stuff sounds like a good concept, like, like having a free bus fare, having cheaper grocery store items or whatever. I think long term, it's not as, I don't think people look at it as far in the, in the future as they probably should when making a decision to vote for something like that.
I think it's a step in the right direction.
But I agree, like moving towards that is what you want.
But didn't they just want the
learn
man
our
out the office?
lesson.
What was his name? Come on. What was the man?
Cuomo?
Did they just want him out the
Michelle.
office? Like they were so. I don't know.
He had some
But that's why I said,
allegations.
Gen Z, and Gen Z is getting of age. We're getting a little older. I represent the older Gen Z, and so, but we're getting to, and I do, but this will be kind of our stepping stones of our lessons learned and how we want to move forward with politics and things like that. However, I think a big chunk of the country and a big chunk of Gen Z is on the progressive mindset of, hey, out with the old, in with the new. Life is changing, a lot has changed, and we got to get with the program.
I think we're just trying to grasp for anything, because it seems like a lot of like the American dream and a lot of stuff very unattainable.
And give him a chance. If he flops, then we'll know.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest city in the country.
We hope he does well.
So he won. I guess the big question is, will Gen Z show up next year when that's we have midterm elections? That's when it's gonna like we're talking about in New York.
Right.
Mayoral race, but what really counts here is what is going to happen nationally.
And will socialism rule with young people?
I don't think socialism will rule in midterms, but I do think that like voting is hot right now. It's cool to go out and like people, you get your little sticker.
Every social media story I saw yesterday was I voted.
Stickers actually were stickers. So people our age make fun of it. People our age make fun of the stickers, but they work for them.
Yesterday, every person I saw, every other Instagram story of any of my friends was a sticker saying
it's like, did you vote if you didn't post your sticker? That's how you know.
Uncool if you didn't vote.
Exactly.
Hey, what's the name of that singer, the rapper that was in the news this week? Tank.
Actually, you're referring to the boxer.
The boxer
The
tank.
boxer tank.
It was a boxer tank.
Well, I can't think of why you'd be. Oh, I know, because All's Fair.
That's it.
Premiered on Hulu, and it is not going over well, as you put it. It has tanked with viewers, who, at least those who are rating it on Rotten Tomatoes, and critics.
This morning, when we did the morning meeting this morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time,
I don't even think that
it had a 0.
I didn't think that was
I
possible
didn't either.
to score a 0.
In fact, it was 0.0.
To quote
is
Animal
that?
House, 0.0. So, how is that? What are some of the things that are being said? I mean, remember, the cast for this show
It's
is
unbelievable.
phenomenal.
Glenn Close, Tiana Taylor,
Sarah Paulson, Kim Kardashian, It goes on. Niecy Nash. Several more. We're not going to go through the whole cast, but so far, the people who are reviewing it are not impressed.
And it ticked
at
up.
all.
It ticked up a little bit, but it's come back down.
Yes, it's been fluctuating above. It's gotten out of the zeros.
It's at 6% now.
It was at 7.
It was at 7. It's ticking around. The original reviews, all of them were splats, and they said things like it was existentially terrible, meaning we don't even want to live in a world where this exists. Someone zeroed in on Kim's performance and said it didn't hit a single authentic note. So it's got all these great cast members, Glenn Close, Naomi Watts, but apparently it's not able to lift Kim into the stratosphere. But here's the one that said it is a tomato. It got a certified fresh. His name's Joel Keller, and he said Alt's Fair is over the top and campy as hell, but it also knows it's both of these things, which is why the show and the cases the firm deals with are going to be fun to watch. And this lines up with what the audience scores a little higher. Siobhan watched it. She said it's great.
Can I tell you what I think happened here? That people, or critics, thought it was going to be a different kind of show.
But it's Ryan Murphy.
It's
what
Ryan
are you
Murphy.
expecting?
It's going to be campy.
But
some people are over
Ryan Murphy does do some serious, usually they're
Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein.
Even the O.J. Simpson thing was over the top. I mean, you know, in defense, there was a show back in the day called Dynasty, which was totally campy and ridiculous.
Okay,
but
you've gone way back.
I'm with
Harvey,
Harvey, though.
It was a monster hit, and it spawned a number of shows just like it. So campiness can work on television.
When camp hits, it hits hard. Mommy Dearest, Dynasty, Knots Landing. These are campy shows, but when you miss with camp, it ends up being cringe. It's very hard to watch.
Right. So cringe or camp?
Those are your choices.
I'm Maya. I'm from Tennessee, and I honestly thought the Rotten Tomatoes rating was spot on. Kim dominates when it comes to business, but she lost me when it comes to acting. I would give it a 0% too.
What? Did you see it?
I've only seen the first episode. I couldn't honestly get through it, but truthfully, I was only there for Tiana Taylor.
How was she? How was she?
I loved her. I love her. I love everything she does, so I'm biased.
Listen, the other way this works is when you give something a 0%, people want to go watch it to be like, wait, how could it be that bad?
Is it that terrible?
Right.
Coming up.
Major controversy on Dancing with the Stars.
Scandal.
Because one of the leading contestants really got screwed last night.
Be right back.
Major controversy on Dancing with the Stars.
Scandal.
Scandal?
Scandal.
Perhaps. I guess it might qualify in the ballroom. I guess this qualifies as scandal because one of the leading contestants really got screwed last night.
She should have gotten, by all rights, should have gotten all 10s.
Alex Earl and her dancing pro, Val Shemerkovsky, had a great...
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. Well, it's been on for 35
That's
years.
true.
So, but yeah, they had a great dance by all accounts, by the accounts of all the judges, except one.
Yeah. So Flavor Flav was the guest judge on the show. So the other judges gave Alex a 10, which is a perfect score.
Yeah.
And she was...
And then Flav...
Oh. Now look at that. 3 out of 4.
When you're the guest judge, you don't want to be out of line with the pro judges.
And herein lies the scandal.
Right.
So the question, why did he give a 9? And why did he then have buyer's remorse?
And I think, like, genuinely, the entire night, Flav did look a little confused. I'm sorry, big guy. And the way that you score on Dancing with the Stars, you have to type it in on a little tablet in front of you, and then you hold up your paddle. All of the dances, Flav's looking a little lost. So I do think he probably genuinely meant to give her a 10 and pressed the wrong button. But the whole night, he was throwing out random scores.
Hold on. What did he hold up?
He held up a 9.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Everybody's talking about this, and they're saying, oh, he typed in the wrong thing. He could see on the paddle it's a 9, and he holds it up. So it's not like he made a mistake. I think what happened, because he came out afterwards and said, I meant to do a 10, and I messed it up.
He hit it on the, he said, I meant to do a 10, I hit the wrong button.
Then how do you hold the paddle up? Have you guys ever had a situation where a bunch of people are looking at something, a movie or something, and it's like, you think it's fantastic, the best movie you've ever seen, but you don't want to say it because you don't want to go out on a limb. But everybody else starts saying it, and you realize, oh, it was the greatest movie. And then you say it. He probably didn't.
What movie are you thinking of?
No, I don't know, but it's like something where you think everybody else is going to feel a certain way and you're kind of intimidated. I think he didn't know what a 10 was, but he kind of felt it. But then when everybody else started saying 10, he thought, well, I thought that too. And I went down just because I thought I should.
And maybe that's why, you're right, maybe that's why he wanted to change it, but the producer said you can't change it. So then he had to hold up the 9 because that's what he put on the computer.
Did he look confident when he held up the 9?
No, he didn't. He looked really upset when he held up the 9. And Harvey, I'm pretty sure you didn't watch this Paso Doble. This was a 10 outright. If you watch this, Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi spoke.
This guy lives the Paso Doble.
You gotta watch this.
It's Brittany and Erie, and I can't tell if he accidentally did or didn't press 10, but Alex and her partner worked so hard to get a top 10 from everybody. I love how she paid tribute to her Jersey roots by playing Dancing to the Bon Jovi song. And oh my gosh, just seeing her just work so hard to perform that dance in the craft. Like, oh, she should have got a 10, her and her partner both.
I mean, the way it works, though, right now it's just on her fans. Just have to make sure they vote even more.
It's combined judges' scores and voting, but people are thinking that the votes are counting a little more because the People's Princess Andy Richter is still there, and he did like 5 steps last night.
People's Princess?
The People's Princess?
Guys, Andy Richter is America's sweetheart.
Oh,
He's doing so good.
On the heels of Election Day, Jennifer Lawrence has a hot take on celebrities and politics. Now, we have talked about this for years, probably as long as TMZ has existed, the fact that
whether celebrities make a difference by endorsing somebody or opposing somebody.
Right. Well, Jennifer Lawrence
I say no. I've always said no. In fact, the only asterisk is they can hurt.
Interesting. Well, do you want to hear what Jennifer Lawrence thinks?
I do.
This is what she had to say. She was on the Interview podcast.
The first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? Like, I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But as we've learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. With this temperature and the way that things can turn out, I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions.
Those are two very different things she's saying. Mm-hmm. One is celebrities don't make a difference. But the other thing she's saying that rings truer to me is I don't want to alienate half the country by taking a stand because it's going to hurt box office.
Although she's basically saying she'd be all right with alienating people if she felt like it actually made a difference.
Right. It has no effect. It doesn't have her intended effect in that her candidate wins, and all it does is then it gets half your audience hating you. So it's just a lose-lose on both.
But if she had the ability to influence people,
that's what it sounds like.
But box office would suffer. Which does she choose?
That's a good question. What do you care more about?
That's the point.
She's not really faced with that. She's not faced with it.
But that's not the option, because the option is.
Can I tell you something?
Did she feel
certain celebrities? Yes, like Leo DiCaprio, for example, is really deeply involved in the environment, and if he can build something around that.
But he also doesn't speak out a lot politically.
But I'm saying that somebody like that
things that you can.
But just because your favorite, look, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is enormously popular. She's almost like a cult leader. Right. Mm-hmm. And if she said vote for somebody, there'd be millions of people who would. But it's kind of dumb because you don't know what's behind.
And she did.
She did, because she endorsed Kamala, and Kamala lost.
Right.
She's the most powerful celebrity we've seen in decades, since the Beatles.
She couldn't mobilize. Everybody said they'd do it, but she couldn't
didn't
mobilize
do it. Right.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show they have no impact. Celebrity, and I work at TMZ, like, we get it. I get the power of celebrity, but these are not real people who deal with real things. They have everything done for them. They're famous. They live in a reality, in La La Land, and the rest of us live in reality.
Sweeping generalization.
For the most part.
I don't really disagree much.
No, I get your point. They're not dealing with issues the same way. It just doesn't have the same aim. They can care about it.
They can
genuinely care about it. But it doesn't because it doesn't land on them the same way it does most of America.
Right. They're not worried about eating today if they can afford
what drives me crazy, and I don't know how everybody feels about this, is when you see, like at award ceremonies, when the guys are in tuxes and the women are in these beautiful dresses, and it's like taking a political stand on the stage. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, as the world's most fancy party.
I'm Mary Wilson. I'm from Long Island, and I only slightly agree with Jennifer Lawrence Because I do think if someone doesn't have a solid or strong opinion, a celebrity endorsement can sway their vote.
What's your name?
My name is Mary Wilson.
Oh my God!
Oh my! I
Do
knew
you
he
know?
was gonna. I was like, will he let it go? Yes, she knows. Well, maybe she doesn't.
I know.
One of the original Supremes. She died a couple of years ago. I loved Mary Wilson.
Yes, same.
Oh, I loved Mary Wilson. It's nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Coming up.
Day 36 of the shutdown, and SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans have just vanished. When the government won't do it, then it's up to ordinary citizens to step up, and
one has.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Day 36 of the shutdown, and based on comments we've heard out of DC this morning, it is not any closer at all to being resolved. And you know that one of the biggest problems for the country right now is the fact that SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans have just vanished. And suddenly there are families that are in dire straits. When the government won't do it, then it's up to ordinary citizens to step up. And
one has.
There's a guy in Pittsburgh who has an incredible story. His name is A.J. Owen. He's going to join us in just a moment. We want you to see kind of what started the movement that he has going there in Pittsburgh after he suddenly got an anonymous donation. Here is A.J. talking about this.
I'm literally shaking right now. My boys and I started a food pantry in our front yard. I just went out to fix things. People have been using it all night. I just looked at my mailbox. Are you kidding me? There's no name. It just says, may God prosper and bless your food pantry. We're really not letting people go hungry, man.
That's
amazing.
I got to say, what's so amazing about it, and we're going to bring AJ on, but what's amazing about it is that he is crying because of people that he's helping, not for himself. People he's helping.
People he's helping, that there are other people who wanted to help, leaving that $1,000 donation. So, AJ Owen, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
First of all, good on you. It is nice to be inspired these days because there's not a lot of inspiration. Why don't you kind of explain what your purpose is here and how it's grown, especially with these donations?
Yeah, I have two little boys that are 7 and 9, and always try to keep them up on kind of what's happening in our country. And with the looming days of SNAP being cut off, it was October 26th. It was a Sunday, and I said, what can we do, guys? And they said, let's go buy some food. We took an old tote that had Christmas lights in it, dumped it out, cleaned it, and put it out, posted on our local Facebook group, and to see if anybody was in need or wanted to donate. And the next day, that little tote was 70% gone. Obviously, this has gone viral now that somebody left thousands of dollars into our mailbox, and really has set off a wave of people all across the nation. I've received hundreds, if not thousands, of messages and photos of others being inspired to do the same.
That is really amazing that your kids, leave it to kids to simplify it, right? And to say, oh, people need food, well, we can go get some for them. What is the reaction? So obviously you're getting donations from around the country. I imagine there in Pittsburgh, this has become a big cause celeb, with people showing up, making donations. And I understand that even one of the Steelers showed up.
Yeah. YA Black and his fiance came by yesterday with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of donations. They were the most humble human beings. They hung out with us for a while. They helped carry things in and pack things. It truly just shows how much Pittsburgh cares about each other.
So why don't you kind of explain how people are getting food? What you're doing to buy it? Are you getting deals? How are people, what do? They come and you display it? How's it working?
Yeah, I've had to expand. Thank God for my neighbor who gave me another table on probably a long-term loan. I've got 6 totes out there full of food. I'm going to get 4 more today because I have such an influx of donations coming from our community that I need to put more out there. I have different variations of things that hadn't been donated before. So we'll have a total of 10 totes out there starting later today when I find some time. And we've had at least 14 to 15 cars of people come by from 7 a.m. to now. It's almost 1:30 here, needing assistance.
I'm just curious about the food. Are you going to stores and, I don't know, asking for deals so you can get more? And are they cooperating?
I've only been shopping once. I took my kids and I to Costco. So many people commented, get diapers, get formula. And I did that. We did that on Monday. I took the day off. They had the day off of school. 2 women actually were so moved by what we were doing and what we had that they handed us $140 right then and there.
Wow. What are folks saying when the folks who actually, need these supplies, need the food, what are they saying to you about their circumstances when they come by?
I always do my best to give everybody their privacy. Sometimes I am out there restocking, and people do come up and just start talking to me, and I'm so happy to have a conversation, and I'm so happy that they're there, and I always welcome them. And one individual said that they had gone to a food bank for some fresh fruit. They were 3 hours early, and they were in the 9th line in the row of cars for assistance. Wow. And so it just shows you there's a huge need right now.
Well, look, the phrase is so overused, doing God's work, but you are. So hats off to you.
I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you bringing light to this situation and spreading out the name.
AJ, thank you so much for heroic efforts, and thank your kids too.
I will. Absolutely. Thank you.
Coming up.
After the FBI crackdown on the gambling ring connected to the NBA, everyone asked the question, can you trust sports? So is it legit or is it all fixed, as people have always rumored?
There is now another investigation afoot. This one has a real twist because of the ties with the White House.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. After the FBI crackdown on the gambling ring connected to the NBA, where you saw a Hall of Famer like Chauncey Billups being indicted and is now going to be facing those charges.
Among others.
Everyone asked the question, can you trust sports?
So
is it legit or is it all fixed, as people have always rumored?
There is now another investigation afoot. This one has a real twist because of the ties with the White House.
Exactly, because it involves the UFC and some really heavy betting that was placed on a UFC match that was not. These were not like superstars. This was these are 2 lesser fighters that people wouldn't really know, but there was seriously heavy betting. Dana White has only spoken to TMZ Sports about how this investigation went down and what the UFC's involvement was in that investigation.
So why don't you just lay out what predictions were and what happened?
So there was a fight over the weekend where one of the fighters was about minus 250 favorite to win the fight. But all of a sudden, earlier in the day, there were a bunch of bets being placed on him to actually lose the fight in the first round via rear naked choke. So fast forward a few hours, that's exactly what happened. So
and the fact is, because he's not a known guy, why would there be heavy betting is what they look at. Why is there so many people betting on a guy that it's not like a Conor McGregor?
And there are agencies that actually look into irregular bets like that, especially that's how they caught a lot of the guys in the NBA. Right. Jonte Porter, who's going to place a bunch of bets on him or a bunch of money on him. So they let the fight play out, and as soon as it ended like that, Dana White picks up the phone and he calls the FBI because he's like, look, we got to look into this. We're not going to let this happen.
And what's interesting is, everyone knows Dana White, president of the UFC.
Very close to Donald Trump.
Very close to Donald Trump.
In fact, they're going to have a UFC match at the White House next year.
He's had Donald Trump at fights. He's had Kash Patel, the FBI director.
They're very close.
So Dana calls the FBI. This is what he told us happened from there.
Probably about 1 o'clock that day, we're with a company called IC360, and they are the best bet monitoring company in the business. And they reached out to us and they told us that there was some unusual action going on with that fight. Do we know anything? You know, we didn't. So what we did was we called the fighter and his lawyer and said, what's going on? There's some weird action going on in your bet. Weird betting action going on in your fight. Are you injured? Do you owe anybody money? Has anybody approached you to, you know, and the kid said, no, absolutely not. I'm going to kill this guy. And, you know, so we said, okay. The fight plays out and first round finish by rear naked choke. Literally the first thing we did was call the FBI. If you try to do this, I've been very vocal and very open about this. We will be your worst enemy. We will immediately go after you, guns a-blazing, with the FBI and whoever else we need to get. And we will do everything we can to make sure you go to prison. And I'm not saying this kid's guilty. You know what I mean? There's no proof that he's done this yet, but I can tell you this, it doesn't look good.
The fact that Dana smells a rat is really interesting. But the other thing that's just shocking to me about this, the thing that's shocking is Dana called this guy and said, right, there's unusual betting going on. Is something going on? So you would think if this really was rigged, that the guy would back off.
Right, his antenna would go up and be like, we can't do this.
We can't do this. Right.
But look, just based on, and we don't know these facts about this case, but remember what we learned about the NBA and how there are organized crime figures involved who are leaning on athletes to say, hey, you owe whatever. That's why Dana asked that question of him. Do you owe somebody money?
Dana's really suspicious here.
I don't know. So what has happened at this point? The FBI have they brought in the fighters for questioning?
They have not yet, not that we know of, but I mean, that's probably going to be part of it. One of the next few things that they're going to do next.
Dana did say that the FBI was at the office yesterday. He said he met with the FBI on 2 occasions on Tuesday, and he has spoken to Cash Patel on the phone about the case.
See, I mean, look, if this is untoward, what they clearly didn't bargain on is the fact that the head of the UFC would be the most vigilant and have those contacts with the White House.
Right.
And he did.
Hi, I'm Courtney from Pittsburgh, New York. Thanks for having me on. Listen, it is not a good look at all. From a sports fan perspective, the possibility of anything being fixed is absolutely against anything that I would want to be a part of because, you know, live events and live sporting events are truly the last unscripted experience that you can have. So it would sort of interrupt your experience as a fan knowing that anything could be fixed.
You hit the nail on the head. There are literally billions of dollars at stake for media companies, for the leagues themselves. If people don't trust that sporting is legit, everything gets blown.
Here's the thing, though. You say that sports is the last vestige of unscripted.
Here we go.
We're unscripted. Trust me.
Jelly Roll is down in Australia, still doing his tour down there, but he gets some time off, decided to do some shopping. And Jelly Roll is a very successful guy.
He had an Oprah Winfrey moment. Remember that?
He did, yes.
Remember that?
His moment came at Louis Vuitton, but he did not have a pleasant experience. In fact, the way he puts it, they wanted him in handcuffs.
Man, the Louis Vuitton in Sydney legitimately just treated us like we were finna come in and rob that place. I have never been looked at more like a criminal. Listen, the last time I was looked at like a criminal this bad, I was an actual criminal this bad.
I mean, in classic Jelly Roll fashion, he's handling it pretty well. It doesn't seem like it really bothered him, but the reality is, if you have face tattoos, people are going to judge you. That's just the reality. I live in a reality.
When I heard him describing it, this is, in the community, we call it SWB. He was shopping while black.
No,
he
was
shopping with face
shopping with
tats.
There's a difference because
shopping with tats.
It is
the
highly
same judgment.
No, it's highly unusual in Australia.
I love when you tell me about the experience of being black.
No, I'm
so
not talking
you go ahead and I'll keep.
Okay,
you finish.
In Australia, it is highly unusual for people to have face tattoos because we have some Australians in the office, and they were saying that it is highly.
So your source is Charlie Cotton. Who hasn't been there in how long?
And Christina.
Yeah, I guess Christina works.
So, I mean, you know, it's, remember Oprah? Or Chanel.
Sorry, the soul has left my body, so you go ahead and tell them about it.
Coming up.
I did not see this coming.
Nor did the reviewer.
No. Paul McCartney and Amber Heard actually have something in common.
Oh, God, yes.
And it's not a good thing.
Turds.
Be right back.
I did not see this coming.
Nor did the reviewer.
No. Paul McCartney and Amber Heard actually have something in common.
Oh, God, yes.
And it's not a good thing.
Turds.
So Paul McCartney has put together an oral history of his band Wings. So the book is basically stories about the band from Paul McCartney and other members of Wings. And his drummer, Denny Sywell, told maybe the most graphic story in the book. I haven't read the whole thing, but this is what Denny had to say about their reaction, the band's reaction, Paul's, to a bad review of one of their albums. Denny says, Stella was a baby at the time.
Stella his
McCartney.
daughter.
So Paul and Linda took one of those little plastic soap dishes from the hotel we were in, and they got one of Stella's turds, put it in the soap dish, wrapped it up, and sent it to him, the reviewer. I thought it was the perfect response to a crude British pressman.
Kind of childish, I gotta say. At least there was a childish turd.
I mean, but does that make it better or worse?
I don't know. I mean,
to be fair, the book also says it's not just that it was a bad review, that they had brought this critic in, spent the whole day with him, went backstage, went on the bus, left before the show, then wrote a bad review about a show he didn't even stay to watch.
Okay,
that's a little infuriating. That's a little.
If he didn't
unfair.
see the show.
Didn't stay for the show. Spent the whole day with them, got all the perks of the rock star lifestyle, left before the show, and left a bad review.
How did they know he left before the show?
Well, because they probably knew that he took off. They could have asked people, but
the weird
Paul was
thing
clearly
is,
upset.
Wouldn't you expose it at the time and say this guy left before?
How'd you expose it?
Well, if he knows now, he would have known then.
No, but you couldn't have tweeted it. You have to book an interview on a talk show to talk about it. That's damage is done.
You realize.
And also, it's not as satisfying as sending a baby turd. Come on.
I mean, it's kind of a rock and roll thing to do,
But
I
I think,
guess.
especially given now that
Not
Stella.
really a rock and roll thing to do.
What was Amber Heard's
sort of.
excuse?
Well, Amber Heard's was just fabulous.
But I'm saying, if you're the critic.
And Amber Heard was clever because she
it
put
wasn't.
the turd on the side of the bed that Johnny was going to sleep in.
We should stop talking about this. We don't want to give Kim Kardashian or Sarah Paulson any ideas since the reviews have not been sparkling, let's say. For all
Hey,
fair.
everybody, check soap dishes if they come in the mail.
Dennis Bonicelli, Boca Raton, Florida. I, for one, have never been a fan of critics, and their reviews always seemed a little biased to me. And to critique a performance you've never watched before proves my point. Paul McCartney is a huge star with many hits, so he doesn't have to let this bother him. But I, for one, find the whole turd thing hilarious.
Coming up.
Tom Brady sending in the clones is not going over well. If you missed the news, Tom Brady announced that he had cloned his dog, Lua, who had passed away back in 2023. But even his most ardent fans, Dave Portnoy, says this just ain't it, Tom.
Be right back.
Tom Brady sending in the clones is not going over well, even with
Send in the clones. I like that.
Judy
Judy Collins.
the clones.
Go
Yes. If you missed the news, Tom Brady announced that that he had cloned his dog Lua, who had passed away back in 2023. But
he has the dog. He has a new dog.
He has the clone, and part of the reason he made the announcement, he's invested in this company. But even his most ardent fans, Dave Portnoy, says this just ain't it, Tom. He tweeted,
I'm a dog guy and a Brady guy. This is weird AF. So I think a lot of animal lovers are kind of on the fence about this. When you're cloning a dog that was your beloved pet, it kind of defeats the purpose of rescuing another dog. There's so many dogs that are in the shelters. I think a lot of animal people are kind of like, hey, let's not get weird with science and let's just save a dog.
I'm a rescue guy. I mean, that's what I've done all my adult life. And I just cannot get worked up about this. It's like if Tom Brady wants to do it, let him do it.
But it's by the
bother
same
me.
Right. By the same token, there are people who are always going to get their dogs from breeders. I
Right.
get the supporting, adoption, and that's great. But breeders are also going to happen. So
you're saying it's very similar to just getting a dog from a breeder. Same kind of thing.
It's the ultimate designer breed.
Everybody's got
right?
preferences, and it's like, it's like, can't we argue about more important things, like Outa?
Oh, no.
Hey everybody, what's up? Hey Charles, Wagwan Harvey, it's your girl China K from Jamaica, and cloning a dog is wild. What he should have done is just gotten another breed of the dog, like from the same breed, get another dog with similarities, and then just work with that because that is crazy. And I'm a dog mom, so I get it. But the cloning thing, that's kind of crazy. That's way out for me.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Carrie from Jamaica.
Carrie, all right. How are you doing? How are your people doing?
My people are doing well on the Kingston side, but not so much on the other side of the island, like, Montego Bay, Ochi, St. Elizabeth. It's really bad, and we need all the help we can get. But we're resilient, and we're doing our best.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else do you guys want to talk about?
I'm Lumi. I did see that the new mayor of New York, he did win. So I'm excited to see what he does with it. I know he's the youngest mayor New York has had in quite a few years. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we will see.
There are people excited. He's got to do the work.
One more.
I'm Cole Paulson, aka Gay Man with a Spray Tan in LA, and we have to discuss Kim Kardashian's new show. I mean, the fact that this got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes just goes to show that these critics are a bunch of haters. This is literally the #1 stream show on Hulu. It had the most viral, most watched trailer in all of Hulu history, and it's already up to 6%. So I feel like it's a little messy that we're running with this narrative, because at the end of the day, Kim Kardashian is Kim Kardashian. She's gonna be watched, and she's living out her dreams with an amazing cast of talented women, fashion that's to die for, and the plot of this show is juicier than her you-know-what.
Wow. Nice spray tan, by the way.
It's actually a self-tan, but, we're always tan in this household.
Okay.
Coming up.
So when you turn 30 and say goodbye to your 20s, well, vaguely, and you say goodbye to your 20s, you want to still show people you still got it.
Kendall Jenner decided to remind everyone, posted a whole series of photos.
It's just amazing that a supermodel can look that good at 30.
Be right back.
So when you turn 30 and say goodbye to your 20s, well, vaguely, and you say goodbye to your 20s, you want to still show people you still got it because it's a big marker, right?
Yeah, and when you get to your 50s, you realize that you had no reason to be celebrating turning 30 because it's not that big of a deal. But Kendall Jenner, nonetheless, this is how she has decided to remind everyone, posted a whole series of photos.
It's just amazing that a supermodel can look that good at 30. She's unbelievable. I mean, she's
having
I will say, in our morning meeting today, literally half the staff got completely distracted from whatever was being pitched.
It was despicable.
Kendall
Can't believe
Jenner,
they did that.
how dare you? We'll see you tomorrow.